What's going on, guys? John Eric Poli here with My MMA News, and today's guest will be making his highly anticipated UFC light heavyweight debut at UFC 289 when he takes on Khalil Rountree. Always great catching up with Chris Daukaus. Chris, nice to see you, man. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man, no problem at all. You're always welcome here. And obviously, like I said there in the intro, you have a debut coming up here at light heavyweight.
Yep.
We're going to get to all that in a second. But to open things up, I got to give you a big congratulations. I know the family has grown since the last time that we spoke. Another baby welcomed into the Daukaus household there. So just how's second child doing?
She's doing good. She's sleeping right now. So that really works out for us. But no, dude, it's been great. Couldn't ask for anything better. She's awesome. She's amazing. And I got my little guy here with me. Come here. Come here. Look, got this little guy here too. So we're all set. We got a big old family. Nothing better.
Yeah, man, I can tell you're very happy with everything there, and rightfully so. Obviously, great family life there. I got to ask you, though, obviously, oldest child's a boy. Now you're a girl dad. I've heard from people that being a girl dad is amazing. I don't have any children. I can't relate to it, but is that the truth? Having a girl is pretty cool?
Yeah, having a girl is pretty cool. It's completely different than having a little boy. Having a little boy, you can, like rough around, be a little rough with him and all that. So little girl is totally different, man. It just even like looking at you, she like pulls at your heartstrings. It's bad. Definitely changed me. So didn't like it. Didn't like it when she changed me. She looked at me, not said a word, and she like yanked my heart out for something. So she's already got me wrapped around her finger.
Hey, girls have a way of doing that. That's for sure. Awesome, man. Congratulations with that. And I did see, if I'm not mistaken, your brother, he's expecting a child too, right?
He is. Yes, he's expecting. They're going to be having a little boy. So before the end of the year. So it's a really big, exciting time for the whole Daukaus family.
Yeah, man, definitely 100%. It's great to see it. Glad you guys are all doing well. But now let's get into all this fight stuff here now. So let's talk about this light heavyweight move here. Just talk about that decision to move down a weight class.
It was really just I should have did it. I was just being arrogant. I had an ego about it. It should have been done. I really never, if I'm being completely honest, I never should have taken the Derrick Lewis fight. I mean, if I took the Derrick Lewis fight, I took it just to get that experience and to know what happens when you main event a UFC card and just the inner workings behind everything. So it should have been done then. But like I said, whether it was my arrogance, my ego, whatever, my fighter mentality of I can beat anybody in the world, that really cost me those wins. And I should have taken a step back and reassessed everything, especially after the Derrick Lewis fight, just seeing how much size I gave up. And he cut, I think, to make 265, and then coming in on fight night, he was probably everywhere, if not close to 300 pounds. And if I'm weighing in at 240 and he's weighing in fight night at 300 pounds, it was just dumb. It was just dumb on my part. So.
And I know you've obviously been asked about, the size difference and about can you make 205? And you always said, yeah, you definitely could, but you didn't want to.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, that you're going through all of this, a lot of decisions like you just talked about, just on the mental side of things. Let's talk physical side of things. Obviously, physique's going to change probably a little bit as you cut weight. Just how's all that side of it been?
It's been fine, to be honest with you. I was, we did the test cut earlier this year just to make sure the body would respond properly for doing that and going into like a super hard training session, as close to a fight as you possibly can get without actually fighting someone, just so that my body can, see how that's going to be. I was happy with the results. The team was happy with everything. So, I've been feeling great. The weight's been staying low, and we had this, they gave me a date earlier in the year. I had to decline it just because I never made the weight. But then once I made the weight, let them know, and then they gave me the date, and it's really been, set in stone, and really just been focusing on strictly that.
So how had you, we'll talk a little bit before that test cut then, just when you're kind of mentally getting ready to make this change here, how much did you look back on that time at heavyweight and say to yourself, man, maybe things I should have did this earlier. I know you touched on that, a little bit before there, but how much of it was, you being upset a little bit at yourself in the career here?
It was, if I'm being honest, it was just, I should have did it before. It was just something I was just being stubborn about it. It was, I thought I was being a professional with everything, and I was and still am being a professional with the training and the lifting and strength and conditioning. It was just the diet and thinking that I could still, just like wing it and just be like an out of shape 205er and just beat up heavyweights. You know what I mean? But looking back on it, being realistic about things, it never should have happened. I should have did this a while ago. I probably should have started at light heavyweight earlier in my career. But you live and learn. I wouldn't have got to the UFC if I was a light heavyweight. So it works out. I'm here now, making a jump for 205. So I'm really excited.
Well, man, they say everything happens for a reason, so I'm sure it'll all play itself out here in the end. Like you said, you're here now. You're a light heavyweight now. You're in the UFC, obviously. So let's start talking now about this move here just a little bit more here. Training camp going on right now. Going to be start wrapping things up. Just talk about the camp. How's it been? Obviously, you're cutting weight during it for the first time. Just how's all that been going?
It's going better than I thought it was going to go. Just keeping my weight down, especially from that test cut, and then following, sticking to everything that my strength and conditioning guy and, the nutritionists that I've been working with have really laid out for me. It's made it that much easier. I mean, the camps suck. It's just fight camps are fight camps. You know what I mean? So if I'm being honest with you, this camp's probably been the hardest physically, just because of maybe the added cut, but I'm not having as many, heavyweights on top of me and like beating me up as I would normally for a fight camp. So it's been good on that aspect, but dude, I'm happy with it. It's about as best as a fight camp can go. I've been strictly working with like southpaw strikers because obviously who I'm fighting. So, it's been exciting. It's been a whole new experience, just figuring everything out, especially, like you said, with this whole weight cut thing. So yeah, it's good.
All right, let's talk about your opponent now, and Khalil Rountree. Obviously, he's a veteran of the sport. He's been around for a while. I'm sure you've seen a lot of his fights. Just what are your thoughts on him as an opponent, and how are you expecting things to play out on fight night?
He's dangerous, man, especially as of late. The form in which he's been fighting as of late is it's really been kind of crazy. He's really picked it up, especially with the striking. So it's definitely going to be a good test. I think I'll pass, obviously. The fight, I mean, I really don't care how I win. I just need to win. Obviously, you look at the record and my last couple of performances, the last three I've lost. So I need to win, and I need to win bad. But, I can't let that weigh on me. The only thing I have to do is just go out there and perform. And if I go out there, perform to the game plan, perform to the best of my abilities, I'll beat them. No questions asked.
And when you mentioned there, right, like, okay, I need to win really bad, but you don't want to let it bother you. I mean, how much of that stuff does creep into the mind, though, and it's always there and that you think about?
It creeps into your mind when you have nothing to do. When I don't have this goal and this set date, that's when it creeps in. But when I'm keeping myself busy with training camp, when I'm going from training session to training session, it doesn't. When I talk to you guys, obviously it'll get brought up and stuff like that. But that's why we do interviews. That's why we're doing these things. But outside of that, I'm trying to be as single-minded as possible as far as leaving the past in the past. But you can't be delusional about what the past is. And like I was saying, I need to win. But when we go in there, we're looking for the win. That's it. I really don't care how I'm going to get it.
Well, when you get it, it'll be on foreign territory. The fights are in Canada. I wanted to ask you a little bit about that. Just what's your excitement level for fighting over in Canada?
I was excited to go to Canada. I'm still excited to go to Canada. I thought it would be Toronto. I thought that would be a little bit better. It's be like a 2-hour flight as opposed to like a 9-hour flight. I got to do it. So outside of that, I'm super stoked to go to Canada, Vancouver, and check it out and see what explore the city a bit. So yeah, we'll see how it goes.
All right, man. I appreciate all the time. It's
Yes.
always great catching up. Always great talking with you. Just last thing before we head out for the day, you want to go ahead, plug your social media so people know where to follow you at. Any management, sponsorships, anything like that you got to plug? Floor is yours.
So, obviously Chris Daukaus with _MMA on pretty much all the socials, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, Twitter. I generally talk to people on Twitter and Instagram. So if you guys want to, chat it up, just hit me up there. Fuel Hunt, obviously Hector Castro and Empire Sports Management. Those guys are the best, and everyone. And Martinez, everyone who's been helping me not only for this camp but throughout my career. It's really been a core group of guys, and I really appreciate everyone.